Using off-camera flash at night can get you some amazing images. All of these images are taken with off-camera flash at night. A lot of photographers are scared of going out at night because they think their flash is going to overpower that background. I'm going to show you some techniques in this video that means that won't be a problem. It's easy. It's not difficult. These are all done with a minimum of equipment. Camera, off-camera flash, trigger, sometimes a modifier, and maybe a tripod. But you don't need a lot of equipment to do amazing off-camera flash shots at night. Look at all of these. These are the sort of things that I've taken over the past few years, and they look amazing. Well, I think they do. It's actually easier to shoot off-camera flash shots at night than it is through the daytime. Well, that's what I think anyway. Now, when I arranged this shoot, it was a week before Christmas. And I was expecting to go into town, into the city of Newcastle, and shoot against some amazing coloured lights, Christmas lights. Unfortunately, they weren't there. Our government in Australia, and our local councils particularly, are afraid to display any Christmas decorations because they're worried about offending people. So in Australia, we just go without. The kids just miss out on their Christmas excitement. That's just the way it is, so we can please a small amount of people. It's stupid. But we've got to make do with what we've got, and that's what we did. I still got some fantastic images, as you'll see in the video. This video is meant to instruct you about using off-camera flash at night. Not so much to say, well, look at me, look at the fantastic images I've got. It's to instruct you and to teach you how to use off-camera flash in various different ways, using your Speedlight. You'll see at least 10 different ways to use your Speedlight for night photography. Now, because we didn't have a lot of light when we were working in there, the video quality is a little bit grainy, but forgive us that. Again, it's an instructional video. It's here to teach you how to do these techniques. So have a look and see the techniques that you can use. We're only just scratching the surface here. There'll be more videos in the future with more techniques that you can shoot with your Speedlights off camera. We're here at night today. You know how I love shooting at night. You've seen my other videos. I'm going to show you 10 ways to use your Speedlight for night photography, for night portraits. We have a model here tonight that we're going to use, Shay. You've seen Shay before in some of our other videos. But the beauty of shooting at night is that your Speedlight's plenty of power. During the day, our Speedlight may struggle a little bit to get enough power to overcome that bright light, but at night, we've got so many more possibilities to shoot with our Speedlight because we can set it on 8th power, 16th power, quarter power. It's going to have plenty of power to do whatever we want, even if we start to modify it, which is what we're going to do tonight too. I'm going to show you all these different ways to use your Speedlight to get beautiful portraits at night. One of the things I like about shooting at night is it's like a blank canvas. You've got darkness there, so you can add light wherever you want to. You can use the ambient light in the environment to shoot as well, and that adds a little bit of interest. You get a whole range of different coloured light. The white balance on all of these different lights varies, so you get that interesting colour in the background as well. So follow me around. We're going to do some shots with Shay. We're going to start off with some basic stuff and get into some really interesting stuff later on. Thing or other? Yeah. Yep. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use our Speedlight, our bare Speedlight, on the trolley, on the stand here, and we're just going to light Shay. She's going to be standing over here. We're going to shoot with that building in the background, but the Speedlight is the only light that we're going to have on Shay. So, Shay, can you come and stand over here, please? Just about there will be great. Okay, Shay, I'm just going to do a test shot first. Here we go. Okay, that looks pretty good. We've got a little bit of light in the background, not a great deal. So the way I can fix that is to slow down my shutter speed. I'm going to slow it right down to a 20th of a second. Okay, lovely. Here we go, Shay, yeah. Okay, you can see we're getting a little bit more light in there now with that background, because when you're using flash, whether it's at daylight or in the dark, the same rules apply. Your camera settings determine your background, your flash power determines your light on your people. So at the moment I'm on 1/20th of a second, that's 1/20 at f4, ISO 400. So when we're using a hard light, like we're using a small light source, which is a hard light, I need to make sure that that light on Shay's face is ideal. So I need to get her to turn her nose close to where that light's coming from, so that light's frontal on her face. So I'm going to be doing that most of the night, so keep an eye on that. Okay, that's it, Shay. Beautiful. Maybe separate your feet a little bit. Yeah, lovely. Okay, and just turn your eyes back to me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, terrific. Just do a full length shot. There's a dog walker in the background. Here we go. Okay, wonderful. Once again. Oh. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, you can see that environmental light in the background. It just makes the shot look that little bit more spectacular. Now we're going to modify this light and shoot in a different location. Okay, we're just going to shoot over here, Shay, against that wall. So we've just moved 5 meters over against this wall. I want to get this light raking down across the wall onto Shay. I've zoomed my flash in to 105 mils. Some flashes will go in further than that, but 105 mils means that that cone of light is very narrow. So I'll show you what we get here. Okay, that's great, Shay. You need to turn your face up to look out at the harbour there, yeah? That's good. Okay, focusing, here we go. Yeah, great. We get a great shadow in this shot. I'm going to shoot a wider shot that'll show you more of the light and it'll give us a bit more emphasis on that shadow. Okay, here we go. Ready, Shay? Yeah, that's cool. Maybe push that knee across in front. You knew I was going to say that, didn't you? Yeah. I didn't mention that Shay's psychic, did I? Here we go. Great. Don't tell Shay, but her shadow makes her look really fat. Because, because the shadow's coming from the side, the shadow's about 5 foot long. So we won't tell her that. Okay, lovely. Looking up that way again for me. Yeah, great. Okay, here we go. Right, terrific. Now, next technique, I'm going to snoot that flash. I'm going to use my Pringle tube, as you've all seen before, over the top of the flash, just so that it narrows that beam a little bit more. Now, Shay, is that pointing at your face or at your shoulder? That's okay, you can see right through to the flash. Okay, that's good. Okay, here we go. Yes, that's cool. Not quite what I was wanting, but I'm just going to tilt that light down a little bit to get a little bit more clean on the background. Okay, great. Here we go, Shay. Yep, terrific. Wider one. One more, yeah. Okay. Yep. You can see how that light's narrower. Now there's a little bit of spill up there from my Pringle tube leaking a little bit, but it looks amazing. So that's 3 techniques in 5 minutes. We're going to have you with your back to that street light. Yep. Now you can see where Shay's positioned here. The lighting on her is not particularly great. We've got that light coming down from above, so she's got nice light on her hair, but she's got that nose that's lit up because that light's coming down on her nose. So there's a couple of things we can do with that. We can just ask her to tilt her face down a little bit so that highlight goes off her nose, or we can just punch the flash in there anyway and just see what happens. I know what's going to happen. I'm just pretending that I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, So we turn this around again, Shay. Here we go. I'm going to take our Pringle tube off. It's cool. So I want you to tilt your head forward a little bit. Turn your face to look over at the building there. Yeah, that's it. Good. Okay, here we go. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, that's great. Okay, once again, I'll just zoom in for a half-length shot. Okay, just turn your eyes to me, Shay. Yeah. Okay. One more. Okay, so we got that done. We're getting through this stuff pretty quickly. So we've got 3 shots. We've got that highlight coming down on Shay's hair. So we're going to move around, do another shot. We're going to do some shots against the foliage over here. But we might do something a little bit tricky. So what we're going to do here is that I'm going to make use of my assistant. I've got Roxanne here to help me out. She's just standing around doing nothing. She's not earning her money. So I'm going to give her a flash. I'm going to put her in behind those bushes so the flash comes through the bushes and gives us a bit of backlight, a bit more interest coming through those bushes by backlighting those leaves. And a bit past Shay. Hold your hand up so I can see you. A bit further. Yeah, now drop the flash down. Okay, we'll see how that goes. The bushes may be a bit too thick for it to show through. All right, Shay, we've got our flash here. Turn your face that way, yeah. Maybe turn your feet that way a little bit more. Yeah, that's it. Okay, yep, wonderful. Turn your face this way, yeah. That fire, Roxanne?
Sure did.
Okay, we're not getting much through that. Can you find a gap in the bushes to stick your
Yeah, I can, yep.
hand through? Yep. Okay, we'll try that. Hopefully Roxanne won't get bitten by a bug. Here we go. Okay. That's doing absolutely nothing. So you can come back now, Roxanne.
Yeah.
I think the bushes are just a little bit too thick for that. No, what we might do is get you in behind the bushes and aim your flash up at that floor up there, because that's going to bounce a bit of light up off there and fill in that background a little bit more and give Shay a little bit of a hair light. Just like you did, Shay. Okay, here we go. Yep. Yeah, that's great, Roxanne. Focus again. Okay, Shay, need to get you looking this way, sorry. Yep, that's it. Here we go. Okay, that's cool. You can see the effect there, just with 2 speed lights. One on the background, one on Shay. We've got a beautiful environmental portrait. Okay, now we're going to do something a little bit different here, Shay. We're going to use these Christmas lights. We're going to stand you up here, maybe even leaning against the pole again, and I'm going to use those lights in the background. So what I'm going to do here is do a bit of flash and jiggle. You've seen me do this in other videos as well. I'm going to drop my shutter speed down to about half a second. It's not going to affect the light on Shay because the flash is lighting Shay, but it will affect the background. After that flash goes off, I'm going to jiggle my camera around to get a little bit more interest in those Christmas lights on the balcony. All right, that's great, Shay, yeah? It's easier facing into the wind, isn't it? Okay. Here we go. Ready? Yeah, cool. Once again. Yep. And okay, here we go. That's good. Wonderful. Thanks, Shay. So you can see the effect of that. Just a simple flash and jiggle, half a second exposure. Shay is still sharp, although there's a little bit of ambient light around on her. That's still fine. And those Christmas lights in the background are just a little bit wiggly. Okay, another technique here. I'm going to increase my ISO. I've been on 200 ISO so far. I want to get some of that environment in the background, all of these lights in this location. So I'm going to increase my ISO. I'm going to take it up to probably 1000 ISO, which means that I need to drop the power of my flash down as well, or move it a long way back, because I don't want to overexpose Shay with my flash. So I've got to start from 0 again, get my camera settings on my background, get it looking the way I want, and then I'll adjust my power on my flash to get the light on Shay. 1000 ISO. I'm going to take my shutter speed back up again to a reasonable level, maybe 1/80th of a second. At f4, I'll just take a shot of that. That's looking pretty good, but I want it a bit brighter, so I'm going to take it up higher still. I'm going to take my ISO up to 1600, 2000. Don't tell anyone I use 2000, because the noise is just going to be so bad, this image is just going to be not usable. Okay, so we're going to turn our flash down. We're going to go right down to 1/128th power, as low as I can go with this flash. Okay, just around about where that black mark is. Yep. We might take the jacket off for this one. We'll do it fairly quickly. That's it. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Just up on your toe on this left foot. Yeah. All right. Okay, here we go. Yeah, cool. Excellent. And the last one. Okay. All right, well done. So we've exposed that background reasonably well, but our flash is on the lowest possible power because we're shooting at such a high ISO. Up till now, we've been using a hard light. We've been using that unmodified Speedlight. Now we're going to soften the light down a bit. We're going to use a couple of different methods to soften the light, but you'll see the difference that it makes. It's going to be more flattering on Shay's face because we're using a larger light source. Even though we're using the Speedlight, we're going to modify it into a larger light source. So have a look at this. So we've got a spot here where we've got quite a bright orange light. You can see the light on my face is quite orange. We're going to use that as a backlight on these kegs. We're going to get Shay posed on these kegs to give that little bit of an orange glow on them and a little bit of an orange on the back of her hair, but we're going to use the Speedlight to light her. We're going to soften it down with an umbrella, a white umbrella. So you'll see the results that we get. So when we're using an umbrella with a Speedlight, generally we have a bracket here that allows us to put our umbrella through the bracket to hold it for our Speedlight. I sometimes forget to bring them, sometimes they break, so just as a fail-safe thing, I've drilled a couple of holes in most of my light stands that my umbrella will just fit straight through. That allows me to use it in any situation. As long as I've got my light stand with me, I can put this umbrella straight through that light stand and it works fine. It's a fixed angle, but 99% of the time I'm using this, this umbrella at about 10 to 15, 20 degrees. So that's about right. I want my light coming down on my subject, but not too much. So we're going to bounce this flash through this umbrella onto our model Shay and soften that light down a little bit. I need to make sure my flash is on the widest zoom setting because I want it to fill up this umbrella as much as possible. I'm going to turn the power up a little bit because the umbrella is going to lose a bit of light, so I'm going up to about an 1/8 power. Okay, so just back up against those kegs if you can, Shay. We'll just do a couple of test shots first. I've had to change my settings, obviously, because we've got a modified flash. So I'm back up on 100th of a second shutter speed. I'm on f8 at 800 ISO. Okay, so just standing there, yep, that's where the light's coming from. Yep, and I want you to turn your eyes to me, yeah. Maybe turn your shoulders this way. Yep, and turn your face back to there. Yeah, that's it, great. Okay, just focusing. All right, here we go. Yeah, cool, turn your face a little bit more around, Shay. Yep, that's it. Okay, yeah, that's great. Now I've got this light fairly radical from the side. I'm going to move it around the front a little bit more, just to be a little bit kinder to Shay. It's always good to be kind to your models. Okay, Here we go once again, just turn your face towards that light, yeah? That's it. Terrific. Now I'm going to include some of that sign in. Okay, here we go. Yeah, great. And just looking out over there for me. Yeah, love that. Over here. That's it. Once again. Yep. And one last one. Here we go. Yeah, that's good. I've seen an opportunity to do some shots down on the wharf down here. There's some nice aluminium railings and things, but I can't get my buggy down there. So I always carry a light stand with me just so that I can use it in these sort of situations. So we're going to take the light stand down, one speed light, and get a couple of shots of Shay down here with the street light and the buildings in the background. So I've set up this light. It's a very narrow area, so we haven't got a lot of space to work in. But I've set up this light here. I'm just going to be in front of it. I want to make sure that I'm not throwing a shadow on the front of this shot. I'm going to get back close to the light stand just so that I can get this exposure on Shay and that light in the background as well. Okay, just see what we get. Yeah, I quite like that. Looks a bit different. Now you can see that shot. It looks very much like a flash on camera shot because I'm right next to the flash. To get the off-camera look, you need to have the flash away from your camera, obviously, otherwise you're going to get this sort of look. I don't mind the look of it, but I think I'm going to change it around a bit. I'm going to move this flash up onto the top part of this jetty, this walkway, so that that light's coming down on an angle on Shay. Okay, that's cool. Now just turn your eyes to look down this way. Yep. Okay, and the same thing again. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so we put our flash back on our stand. We're going to use a scrim now to soften that light down. The scrim is the centerpiece of your 5-in-1 reflector that's translucent. So we're going to hold that in front of the flash and that's going to soften that light down on Shay. Because we lose a bit of light, again we need to turn it up a little bit, turn the flash up a bit. So we'll probably go up to about maybe quarter power. Now I could use the buggy, I could use the other upright on the buggy to hold this scrim, but there's a little bit of wind around, so it would be a little bit difficult to keep it into one spot. So I've got a special piece of equipment called a self-propelled voice-activated light stand. Whenever I give it instructions, it will move that scrim around into the perfect position. So I'll be back in a couple of seconds and you'll see what that is. So here's my self-propelled voice-activated light stand. It's called Rochelle. It's called
Roxanne.
It's called Roxanne. Okay. So I'm an old man, forgive me. So you hold that.
This is the Roxanne model,
Yep,
not
just
the Rochelle model.
come around in front of the flash for me. And you're going to hold that in front of that flash. Yep. That, not too close because we want to get it a bit diffused. Yep. We're going to use Roxanne to diffuse that flash and soften it on Shay. Shay's going to be standing against the wall, but we need to get Roxanne a little bit further forward because we want that light to spread and fill up that softening device. Now you'll notice we've got a fairly bright light up on this wall here, which is going to throw a bit of a highlight on Shay's hair. So we're going to use that to advantage as well. But we're going to just do an exposure test to see what we've got. I want that flash to predominate. I just want that other light just to add a little bit to that background. Okay, we'll move you across a little bit more, Shay. Yeah, that's it, just leaning back against the wall. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, just do a test here. Okay, yeah, I like that. It's a little bit bright, which means that I can drop my aperture down. So I'm shooting at 1/100th of a second, f13, at 800 ISO. Okay, we'll try that again. Yep. Okay, that's looking good. You see we've got a little bit of flare on one side from that light source. That's okay, I don't mind that. It adds a little bit of interest to it. So that's looking cool. Okay, so just turn your face towards that. Yep, that's great, Shay. Okay, terrific. Put both elbows back a bit more. Yeah, that's it. Okay, terrific. Drop the hands down behind your bottom. Yep, that's it. Push that knee across. Yeah, lovely. Okay, now I'm going to get a wider shot. Yeah, that's it. Good. Now, see that? There he is. You can see that doesn't work particularly well because the light is reflecting in the shiny surface of the tiles. So we're just going to move that flash around a bit so that we don't get so much of a flare. Okay, Roxanne, you're going to come out here. You're going to move this light around. Yep, that's cool. So my exposure is going to be exactly the same because the light source is the same distance from Shay. And I'm going to shoot from right underneath the scrim. That's going to put that highlight right behind Shay. Excuse me, Roxanne. Here we go. Ready, Shay? Ah, yes. Beautiful. One more. Yeah. Can you separate those feet for me, Shay? Yep, that's it. Stand on one foot. Yep, push the knee in, maybe on one side. Yeah, great. Here we go. Can you look over towards the road? Yep. See, the previous ones, we had that highlight over to the side.
Yeah.
And it was a bit distracting. So I just moved that light right in front.
Yeah.
And that works so much better. Roxanne said, wow, that's really good.
Yes. Wow.
It's always good to show your light stand the shot just so that she knows what's happening and how she can improve later on. Thank you, Roxanne.
That's all right.
Okay, you know how to fold it up?
Just sort of twist it.
Just do a video of Roxanne folding up the reflector. Okay, I think we'll continue shooting here. We're going to use our flash. Robbie, that's cruel. You shouldn't do that. Well done. We're going to get Shay to do it next time. So we're going to do a couple of more shots with the scrim, just to demonstrate something. If we have that scrim softening this light, but it's still a fair distance from Shay, it's going to be a soft light, but it won't be as soft as if we get it really in close to Shay. The closer that light source is to Shay, the softer it's going to be. So we're going to do two different shots, one with the scrim a couple of meters away from Shay, and then we're going to get her right up against it, and you'll see the results that we get. Okay, so here we've got our scrim. It's about 2 meters away from Shay, so we're going to do a shot here. Okay, lovely eyes to me, Shay. Yeah, that's good. Okay, lovely, terrific. That light's quite nice on Shay. Now we're going to move Roxanne really in close to Shay. Don't hit her with it, but that's okay. Now just move a little bit to the right, Roxanne, just so I can see Shay. Yeah, that's it. Cool. Okay, and you're looking at me now, Shay? Yeah. Okay, there we go. Now, I don't know if you can notice, but that light is going to be much softer on Shay because we've got that light source in closer to her. The exposure is no different because our flash is still the same distance from our model. Okay, we're going to play around a little bit now. What we're going to do is uplight Shay. We're going to get her standing out in front of this wall. I want to take advantage of this light up the top here. We're going to put the flash on the ground, and this light's going to be lighting up on Shay, which is generally not the ideal way to do it, but I want to throw a big shadow on that background as much as I can. So I'm going to turn this flash up. We're going to go up to full power. We're going to put it on the ground right here. So for this shot, I'm going to use that little stupid foot that you get when you buy a flash that you thought was useless for everything. That'll allow me to stand it up on the concrete, on the ground, and just tilt my flash up the way I want it to be. Okay. that's good, Shay. So just shuffle that way a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Good. All right, so here we go. Yep, maybe just looking straight ahead over my head. Yep. Focus. Here we go. Okay. Now that's looking okay. That's looking reasonably good, but the background looks a bit basic. So I'm just going to use my second Speedlight flash with a colour gel on it to light the background. I think I'll use my trusty blue. This is not easy in the wind. There we go. We've got a blue flash. So turn him on. We're going to go up to quarter power. We're just going to light that background. Okay, that's cool. Yep. Not just move it. Yep, that's it. Great. Just focusing. Okay, just looking straight out over my head. Here we go. Yeah, that's good. More. Okay, just turn your face into the wind so your hair goes here. That's it. Okay, that's cool. Now, that light on Shay's face is not particularly attractive. It makes her look a little bit like Morticia Adams, but don't tell her that. But we're going to fix that now by getting Shay to lean forward a little bit and drop her chin down and still look at the camera. Okay, so one knee forward, just bending down there. Yeah, that's it. And I want you to look at the camera, drop the chin down a little bit more. Yeah, that's great. Okay, here we go. Yep, one more. Okay. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, Shay, if you can stand over against the wall there, please. We're just going to finish off with a bit of a light painting shot. It's a bit more challenging here because it's quite bright around this environment, but we're shooting against a reasonably dark background. But I need to be careful of my exposure. You've seen other light painting videos that I've done where I use 10 seconds, 15, 20 seconds, but I'm going to use 2 seconds here because that's as much light as we've got here. I need to be able to light Shay in that 2 seconds to get the effect that I'm looking for. So set up on my tripod, I'm going to focus on Shay. We're going to do that 2-second exposure. I'm going to use Roxanne to push the shutter for me, just so that I can time it properly. Okay, so leaning back against the wall for me, Shay. Yep, that's it. So what I want you to do is turn your face away from the light because I don't want that light to come on your face, yeah? So I'm going to be over this side with the torch. I'm going to light you from this side. We'll just do a base exposure first and see what we've got. So we've got a reasonably dark image to start with. So when I start light painting Shay, it's going to be a little bit of a cooler light as well. So we're going to have a bit of a colour shift there. The warm light of this environment is going to give us that ambient, and then the highlight from the torch is going to light Shay. Okay, Shay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that worked pretty well. I'm going to move in a bit closer this time, just to get a bit more light on Shay. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I only got halfway down Shay, but that's still going to be fine. Once again, please, Roxanne. 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you can see the results of that. It's not a fully light painted image, but the light paint is just adding to that ambient light. So you can see the possibilities of shooting at night with your Speedlight. The Speedlights I use aren't expensive, $80 or so. So if you've got someone to hold the Speedlight, you don't even need a light stand. You can just get them to hold it. That's all you have to pay is $80, and you can get these amazing effects. Of course, an umbrella and a scrim can help you as well, but there's so many possibilities shooting at night with your Speedlights. I very rarely get up to full power when I'm using my Speedlights at night. So most of the shots today, I've used anything from 1/100th power up to about 1/4 power or so. So get out and give it a go. See what you come up with. I'll see you in the next video.